What's up, guys? Ironhide City here, and today we are taking a look at Transformers Siege Leader Class Shockwave. Now, Shockwave has been given this Cybertronian spaceship mode, so he is no longer a space gun. So, no more gun for him. But I really do think this is a cool vehicle form for him. So I actually got this figure for Christmas this year, and I'm only just now sitting down to review him. And right off the bat, I am really impressed with this design. I mean, just look at all the detail on this figure. Especially the front here where this cannon barrel is. And I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. Like, look at all those laser beams. That's going to do a lot of damage to an asteroid. So, this thing has a lot of firepower, especially with these missile racks back here, which are actually his feet. And the actual bridge of the ship actually has light piping as well, which is actually coming up pretty good on camera here. And just like I said, I'm really impressed with this design. Now, these back fins here can actually angle a bit. So you can have him like that. And he actually does have a landing gear here, which... let me try and get... there we go. Just why this vehicle mode is so cool is beyond me. So transformation for this figure, especially for being a leader class figure, is really cool. So I've zoomed out a bit to do this transformation because he's actually pretty big in spaceship mode. So the first transformation I'm going to do is because he's got a little bit of a secret. So fold up the landing gear and take off the back cannons here. And I'll put him to the back. Then if you then split these apart like so, or actually I'll come back to these in a little bit. So we'll come back to these in a bit. So if you actually fold down these parts and turn him over, believe it or not, and he does have this cord here, which I'll get into, but if you turn him over, that looks like his original form in G1, his space gun mode. But if you unpeg this cable in here and plug it in over here, you get the original G1 look. And I don't use this mode very often, but it's actually pretty cool. So, to continue with the transformation, we're going to unhook the entire front here So remove this, and we'll put that off to the side. So the figure is going to be standing up like this because this is the chest plate of Shockwave. So we're going to start from the back and work our way up. So start by untabbing what will be the side of the legs from right here and split them. That way you can split the actual legs apart and extend them. Then you will flip this panel in and then turn the whole leg 180 degrees. So do the same on the other side. Extend, close the panel, and then turn the leg around. And there, now we have him standing up. Now, coming to the top of the figure, we're going to open up what is the front of the vehicle mode right here, which will reveal his arms. So fold out the arms and bring them down. Plug the cable in to his arm. And I actually have it attached to the wrong arm, or to the wrong side, I mean, sorry. Close up that flap. Bring this around on the back. Flip open the chest. Flip out the head. Close the chest up. Sometimes this wants to go cleanly, sometimes not so much. Oh, there we go. And last but not least, turn his head around. And there you go. Shockwave in his base robot form. And I think his base robot form looks really good. I think it looks excellent, in fact. And I'm a huge fan of the character of Shockwave. So that is one of the reasons I wanted to get this figure, and I think Hasbro and Takara really get a 2 thumbs up here. I think they get an A+ on the design and the character of this figure. Just 2 thumbs up. So, coming in for a close-up here of his head sculpt, I really think that is absolutely beautiful. Like, beautiful job there on the head sculpt. And it is perfect. Like, that is Shockwave right there. And another neat thing I like is, like in vehicle mode, look at that cool light piping he has. Yeah. Now, this figure is very posable, believe it or not. He has, zoom out a little, a ball joint in the head, a swivel for 360 degrees on the shoulder, and then a hinge for in and out, and then another hinge here inside the shoulder, a bicep swivel, a very nice tight hinge for a little over 90 degrees, so he can really point that gun. A waist rotation, nice tight ratchets, and I do mean nice and tight. Like here, listen. Yeah, nice tight ratchets in the hips, going forward and back. And again, nice tight hinges for in and out. A very nice tight thigh swivel for a thigh. A very good knee bend, 90 degrees due to a ratchet. And then some hinges here in the ankles for side to side. So posability-wise is another pro for Shockwave. Now, remember those pieces I mentioned? I'm going to put Shockwave off to the side for a second. Remember these. These parts here hold a dual purpose. So the first is you can actually make like a sled or attack drone for him. And that is done by taking this central piece, spinning it over, then we're going to actually attach these bits to the top here. So remove these pieces from these guns here, and then take the double cannons I mentioned and plug them in to that front cannon barrel. Then we close this up. And fold these down as like little stabilizers. So you want it looking like that. Now, we're going to take what are the side guns and side wings and plug them in right here to the side. And that gives you this attack vehicle that Shockwave can use. And just these side guns are a little floppy on mine. I'm gonna have to try and fix that. But Shockwave can then stand on this So there we go. Oh, and I forgot to plug that cord back in. There we go. And I like that. But this does have one more function. So we're going to take shockwave off, put him off to the side again, and then we're going to take this whole thing apart. Because this can all attach to shockwave. So, starting with this piece, we're going to come around to the back, and I'm actually going to unplug this cable just to get it out of the way. So, it's just get it out of the way. Bring the backpack down, and then this part right here has a peg right in there. And then these two little pegs right in here where my thumbs are will go on his back. And the only issue with the backpack is this cable gets in the way sometimes. So plug those in. Kind of like his most recent, or kind of like his recent masterpiece toy, where the gun barrel is on his back. I think it was his masterpiece toy. Could be wrong. And then we'll put the, or actually, not yet with the cable. We'll put the feet, or these feet units on. And then this is the cool part. Take out the cannon, rotate it so he has an elbow, and then there are little pegs in here, right here where my thumb is, and little holes right up here on his shoulders. You're going to plug those in like that. So do the same to the other side. And you want the gray part facing out. And now I'm going to plug in the power cable. And there we go. Shockwave, all armored up. And again, he looks cool. I like how he can incorporate all of his pieces into this mode. And my only complaint with this is I think the cannon barrel back here sticks up just a little too high for me. Just a little. And for a quick size comparison, I'm going to put a Titan's Return figure up here. That I have within easy reach. That being Blitzwing, who is probably going to be tomorrow's review. So I really like this shockwave. And overall, I have to say I very, very strongly recommend him. Like, if I had to rate him overall, I have to give him a 9.5 out of 10. Like, he is almost flawless, except for that cannon barrel, which is a little too high. Just a little. But just, I love this figure. So, overall, definitely pick this one up. This is my review for Transformers Siege Shockwave Leader Class. This is Ironhide City. Have a good night.